Hi, everyone. Welcome back to Forma Therapy. This is the Culture Study. My name is Jaeok PD, and today I'm going to be reacting to On and Off's latest comeback. This is Open the Door. So this comeback is quite notable because this time around, this is going to be On and Off's first comeback with their new label. That's right. Earlier this year, they left their long-term debuted label, WM Entertainment, and they joined, I think it's called Key Entertainment. I'm unfamiliar with them, but this is their first comeback with the new label and the label change. And very notably, it is also with a brand new studio album. If you're just getting into On and Off or you're a casual listener, well, On and Off has always made great songs, especially great title tracks. I would say they are one of the most underrated and most fantastical sounds of the fourth generation, if not the most fantastical group. And I haven't heard this song yet, but I'm sure we'll check it out with me together. I'm sure this song will be just as fantastical, but their B-sides are just as great. So I highly encourage you check it out. They have a whole massive discography for you guys to go through. I will also be doing a listening party for their second studio album as well. That'll be out in July over on my Patreon. Links in the description below. We'll talk more about that later. But in the meantime, let's go ahead and check out the music video. This is Open the Door by On and Off. Let's go. Hold on. We can't watch this in 720p. Excuse me. There we go. I saw the shadow and I was like, that is not 4K. Wow, this label gave them money. Wow. This label put money into this video.
Open the door.
Damn, out the gate. Let's go.
도착한 곳은 낮과 밤을 구분 못할 익숙한 내 맘속이었어. Horizon 같은 이 공간에서
오랜만이다. 와.
환경계는 저기다지만 애를 써도 전혀 낫지 않던 내 열병과 또 쏟아지는 그림자에 모든 시작이었던 이곳 정문을 열고 나면 나는 어떻게 되는 걸까 다음 세상일지 깊은 심연일지 몰라도 Open the door Open the door 그곳이 어디라도 난 가야 해 거듭을 들어가는 나의 작은 희망은 밤에 달이 빛을 잃은 듯이 점점 달라질 나의 모습이 두려운 건지 아니면 나들이 전부가 내 무서운 건지 이러면도 난
Why it's melodical rapping.
되질 못하고
On and Off, I missed you.
많은 모험 중에 나는 괴물 감았었고 누군가 미워하기도 했어 사실 그 모든 건 다 나였는데 저 문을 열고 나면 나는 어떻게 되는 걸까 다음 세상일지 깊은 심연일지 몰라도 Open the door Open the door Open the door 그곳이
Dude.
어디라도 난 가야
First listen and it is immediately a song that just pulls you in.
있으니까 두렵지 않아 마지막이라는 시작일 테니 내 몸짓보다 커진 욕망의 덩어리를 죽이고 고통 없는 나를 만나고 싶어
Well, I gotta Google that.
Open the door Open the door 그곳은 그대가 없었으면 해 Open the door Open the door
Oh, I'm slightly emotional. I didn't cry, but that made me well up with tears. Wow, that was a very moving song and a very a moving music video. Wow, wow. Um, you know, I sometimes have to I sometimes have to do like a second watch through to really kind of dig into a music video, but I feel like this is one of those music videos and songs where on the first watch through, it got me. And I think a lot of great fourth gen K-pop music did that really well. And I think On and Off is one of the last standing fourth gen K-pop groups that has not changed for the fifth generation. That has not changed for modern times. Their music is still on and off while maintaining the sound of that era that was wholly them. I think other groups evolve always over time, even if they retain their core sound and what makes them them. They evolve to fit modern taste and standards. Not on and off. They had nothing to change. They were perfect and always musically creative and artistically beautiful as it is. So, first listen, first watch through, it got me. I mean, I think very few songs actually get me to the point of like within the first listen to through, it's already got me singing along. I think it's because this song is it's very triumphant. It's a song that demands that we sing along. It's a song like it's almost like listening to like a religious worship song. It's like listening to Coldplay's Viva La Vida for the first time. It is a song that is anthemic, but it is emotionally anthemic and it is from the heart. And I immediately connected to it. So On and Off, I gotta, they did an amazing job. It's incredible. It's incredible. Especially even with the label change, nothing changed. It was, in fact, it only got better. He loved the music videos, fantastic. And this song and this music video is an example of being fantastical, especially if you listen to that sort of bridge section. But we'll do a second watch through and we'll get into it. But they borrow elements from music that is so different than other K-pop. They, it's not even something I could say or where I could say like, oh, this is true K-pop. No, On and Off definitely has different modes. They definitely have leaned more pop before, but I think being larger than life and being fantastical in nature is and being bright while also being emotionally bittersweet or emotionally kind of confusing is always something that they've done really well. I think this song is a great example. I think Goodbye Monster is I think that one just might be sad. I think another one that kind of where this kind of fits along is one of my favorite On and Off titles, Poppin', which that's a very bright song, but it's a song about light emerging out of darkness, and this song is about light within darkness. This song is beautiful. This song, first off, lyrically is incredibly poetic. Not a lot of K-pop title tracks are written with lyrics like these. You guys might be just consuming the English translation of things, but a lot of K-pop lyrics, even for other groups nowadays, the lyrics are pretty simple. They are almost even nonsensical. Grammatically, they are just nonsensical from one to another, and they don't really tell a story. They're puzzle pieces that kind of paint together, like you put it together and it's a puzzle. It's like you put together a puzzle, but there's a lot of spots missing. But that's what a lot of pop lyrics are. It's more catchy and it stands out more when it sounds a little off. That's actually it's because it doesn't fit your typical grammatical pattern, and that's why it stays in your head more. That's why a lot of K-pop lyrics are weird or corny or kitschy like that. This one is, well, is it gonna, like, are the verses and stuff gonna be memorable unless you're Korean? Probably not. But I have to tell you that the lyricism is beautiful. It's poetic. And I will translate some of the stuff for you guys on the second watch through because it begs to be heard. But the song is ultimately about fighting one's own darkness, fighting one's own demons. It's called To Open the Door. And basically the struggle of the song comes from the fact that what they're singing about is how much they're suffering. They are in a pit of depression and sadness and darkness, and there's only one way out, that door. But they're too scared to open the door. And it's basically it's an allegory for how we as people, we may be in a dark place in our lives, we may be depressed, and the only way out is basically through, to face our depression, to face our darkness. But sometimes we're scared of change. Sometimes the darkness is more comfortable. It's actually more comforting to stay in the dark. So we stay with ourselves. We learn to hate ourselves because we're addicted to the darkness, because it is more comfortable to stay in the darkness than to face the uncomfortability of change. And that is what the song is about, and how they suffer because they choose not to open the door. And so the chorus, that's why it sounds so bright and triumphant, because they are saying, open the door. It's the only way out. And so it's a brilliant song about depression, change, self-transformation, and, the past 3 years have been a really trying time in my life, and as I've been trying to turn my life around, and I think because of that, I very wholly really understood and empathized with the narrative of the song. So let's go ahead and watch and listen to this again. I'll go ahead and pick apart some lyrics and such for you guys. There was also a part in the middle of the song where I didn't understand some of the lyrics because it was not Korean, and I'll Google that as well. So this being is supposed to be them. It's a shadow representation of themselves. They say at the end of the music video, "I hope I don't see you there," or I hope I don't see you there anymore," which is just themselves.
Open the door. 도착한 곳은 낮과 밤을 구분 못할 익숙한 내 맘속이었어. 도착. So the lyrics are beautiful. I hope it comes across even in the translation of, I arrived at a place where I couldn't differentiate between night and day. That place was my heart.
Horizon 같은 이 공간에서 유일한 경계는 저기다지만 애를 써도 전혀 낫지 않던 내 열병과
God, Ishan sounds so good.
모든 시작이었던 이곳 정문을 열고 나면 나는 어떻게 되는 걸까?
What will become of me once I open that door?
깊은 심연일지 몰라도
Whether it is the next world or the abyss.
Open the door.
So the lyrics of that is there's a lot to be said there. They don't know what's on the other side of that door. It could be salvation. It could be an even worse dark place. But anywhere is better than here. You've got to open the door. And it's all about taking a leap of faith. So you'll see the imagery of them running, but as well as that shot of him closing his eyes because he's scared, him falling through the hallway almost as if it's this long drop. This is also a pretty well budgeted music video. I would say they have limited sets and they're kind of reutilizing a lot of shots, but a lot of smart framing, a lot of gorgeous lighting setups and close-ups really make for this music video to be a lot more high quality, and it comes off a lot more prestigious than I would say than what the actual budgeting for this video is.
물들어가는 나의 작은 희망은 밤에 달이 빛을 잃은 듯이 점점 달라질
Oh my god. Okay, so we gotta break down why it's rap real quick. Hold on, let me pull up the Korean title, not just the, because it's his choice of words. That's beautiful. Okay, so 검게 물들어 가는 나의 작은 희망은, my god, how does the English translate that? Let's see. My small hope turning black. Yeah, no. My small hope turning black. No. 검게 물들어가는 나의 작은 희망은, my small hope that is becoming drenched black. So 검게 물들어 is a very Korean exclusive word. There is no English translation for it. You're going to hear it in a lot of K-pop songs, or even in K-dramas, but especially in ballads as well. 물들어 is to stain and drench, wet something. But 물들어 is like becomes wet with something, becomes stained with something. It's a very aquatic word. 물 itself is a word for water. 검게 물들어, so it's becoming drenched black. You know, 가는 means like it's as like it's present tense. It's happening. It's in process. 나의 작은 희망은, my small hope. So my small hope that is becoming drenched black. Quite literally. So then that's why there's that water scene of Wyatt. 밤에 달이 빛을 잃은 듯이. Like the moon that's lost its light at night. So he's comparing himself, he's comparing his small hope that's being stained black as the moon that's slowly losing its light at night. 점점 달라질 나의 모습이 두려운 건지, 아니면 am I afraid of my form / appearance changing more and more, or 바다들이 전부가 나 무서운 건지, or am I just scared to receive it all? So what he's saying really is like, am I scared of who I'm going to become, or am I just scared of the idea of change? Nevertheless, I couldn't become a good person because I couldn't tell the difference between fantasy and reality. Wow. I could sorry, not fantasy and reality. I could not tell the difference between hope and fantasy. Wow. So it's the idea of how inaction in and of itself is the sin here. By staying in the room, by being afraid. I think right here, Hyojin's thing is supposed to be like, he's afraid to leave. He's being watched all the time, you know, maybe like the scrutiny of like being a celebrity or whatever. So he, instead of doing something about it, he's paralyzed with fear and he can't leave the room. even came to hate someone. But in truth, all of it was me. Yeah, we wind up really just hating ourselves. What we really hate, the biggest monsters that we have to conquer in that journey of transformation is really ourselves. What will become of me once I open that door? So he opens the door and he crosses over. And as he crosses over, that's why everything is shaking, rubble is falling, change is happening. Wow, hold on, wait a minute. Even if this is the end, then it'll be the beginning. I will kill this massive desire that has grown larger than me. I want to meet a self without pain. Ooh. Okay. Hold on. Let me Google this. All right. So Senetemor is without fear in Latin. And then Lux in Tenebri Lucet is the light shines in the darkness. And then the last one, Corribus for T.S. Lucet, is light shines stronger in brave hearts. That section in particular is what really makes, I think, On and Off unique. And I'm glad that this carries over even into their new label and that doesn't change in their sound. This sort of fantasticalness is something that I would relate to old band music. And very specifically, like that part in particular, I would say like the first band that comes to mind is like, that reminds me of something that like Queen would do. And I feel like that is something about On and Off's music is they reach an emotional catharsis that like where it feels like it's my soul screaming out in a way that certain Queen songs, especially something like Bohemian Rhapsody, really kind of did for me, had an effect on me. Not saying necessarily it sounds like a Queen song, but it has that just kind of that euphoric, transcendent effect that some Queen songs have. So this is why the chaos happens. This is why the chaos happens at the end. They open the door. So he's writhing in mud. The water is like taking all over. The wind is blowing everywhere because transformation going through the door is chaos. What's on the other side? Is it the abyss where Ishan is standing? Or is it here? The next life. Again, another very Queen-like ending. So that's what it's about. It's about the question. It's about the anxiety. It's about the anxiety of not knowing what's on the other side of that door. Is it going to be like the abyss that Ishan faced? Or is it going to be the next life? A better life, a brighter life that we hope for? Who knows? But anything is better than here. And you got to open the door. That is the point of On and Off's latest comeback. And they are still, I think, single-handedly the only group that makes music like this, I think. And by the way, I think means it. I think that's one of the biggest things. On and Off's music, I think they make magical music. And I think they make music that matters. Like, there's a lot of just pop music nowadays. And there's just a lot of kind of like shallow pop music as well. And I'm not going to downplay those songs and I'm not going to insult those songs because I love pop music. I love catchy pop music, but On and Off has always been more. On and Off has always, their heart has always been in it. And this, Buy My Monster, the last one I reacted to was breathtaking as well. And this one is yet another one that just moves me it just resonates me to the core of my soul. So I just want to give it props, give it a round of applause. That is an On and Off comeback. And what a title track it is. As I said, this is coming off a second studio album, which I'm so excited for. I'm going to be doing a listening party for that, and that'll be out on my Patreon. In July, I'll be reacting to On and Off's Open the Door. The listening party is going to be coming out sometime in July. Don't have an exact date yet, but stay tuned. I release the calendar for my content release schedule at the beginning of every month. But you can also head on over to the Patreon now and see what I've released in June. Your subscription renews 1 month after whenever you join. So if you join now, it'll renew whatever date it is now for you in July. And so perhaps you can check out the content that I've been putting out in the month of June, as well as catch the On and Off listening party in July. Of course, you don't have to support the channel monetarily. If you want to support the channel for free, consider heading over to the like button. It's going to be down here. It's real simple. Just click it. Easy. Bing, bang, done. You can also subscribe over here. It's also easy. It's a big round button. Click it and you're done. There's an extra step of hitting the notification bell, but that is optional. You can check out my other videos in the upper hand corners, and that's going to be it for me. Thank you for tuning in. I hope you enjoyed my reaction to On and Off's Open the Door, and I'll see you in another video. Bye, guys.